Welcome to my latest case, The Curse of Blackmoor Manor. To start, choose Junior or Senior Detective. If you're new to adventure games or need some help, choose Gameplay Overview. Dear Ned, greetings from jolly old England. Although right now I'm not so sure about the jolly part. That's because I'm on my way to Blackmoor Manor, where the daughter of one of our neighbors is living. The daughter, whose name is Linda, recently married Hugh Pendleton, a British diplomat. Hugh travels a lot, so the only people at the manor with Linda are Hugh's aunt, Mrs. Drake, and Hugh's 12-year-old daughter, Jane. The thing is, ever since Linda moved into the manor, her health has gone downhill. She's practically bedridden, and no one seems to know why. Her mother is convinced something is terribly wrong and wants me to find out what. So here I am, about to be dropped off at a huge centuries-old mansion in the middle of a dark, foggy moor. I can't tell whether the butterflies in my stomach are because I'm excited or just a tad creeped out. Talk to you soon. I hope. Nancy.
Night, miss, and good luck.
Nancy. Who's there? Hello? There's something out there!
Where, child?
Over there! I mean, something was out there.
Come in. I'm Mrs. Drake. I take it you are Nancy Drew?
Yes, and I really did see something, Mrs. Drake. I heard something, too.
Oh, people are always seeing and hearing things on the moor at night, especially you Americans. Why don't you just go on up to your room? It's the one with the moon on the door.
I'd like to see Linda, if I could.
I'm afraid Linda is, not quite ready to meet with you just now. But please, come see me after you've unpacked. I'll be in the conservatory.
All right, thank you. A tripod. For a camera, maybe?
Do I have to learn this?
Yes, I'm afraid you do.
If I do well, can we play a game?
Yes, but only in French.
Oh.
This is not a good time.
I need something else for this.
Oh, forget it. Stay in Italy as long as you want, then. Some kind of husband you're proving to be. It's not all in my head. Don't bother.
Linda? Hi, it's me, Nancy Drew.
Nancy Drew, our friendly neighborhood detective. Well, welcome to Blackmoor Manor. I apologize for greeting you under such unusual circumstances.
And I'm sorry to have to bother someone in your condition.
My condition? What's my mother told you? What her son-in-law keeps telling me? That it's all in my head? That I'm just an unhappy new bride? That I just need time to adjust? I'm tired all the time, my mouth is dry, my vision is blurry. But that's not important. Here's what's important, Nancy. There are some doors that should never be opened. There are some doors that hold secrets which must never be known. That's everything you need to know. Now if...
Mummy, can I come in?
No, you're supposed to be in your lessons.
Lessons are over. I want to meet Nancy.
I said no, Jane.
Okay.
That was my stepdaughter. She can be such a pest sometimes. Anyway, I understand you feel an obligation to my mother, but trust me, there's nothing you can do. You're welcome to stay, but I strongly recommend that you go home as soon as possible.
Please, Linda, just tell me what's wrong. Linda? Okay, I'll let you rest. But I'll be back. I'm here for you if you need me. This must be Mrs. Drake's room. Guess she's not in her room. Oh, it's just a parrot.
Scared ya?
No, you didn't.
Did you? Did you?
What's your name?
Lolo, 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 Lolo.
Okay, I get the point. Lulu.
Lolo, 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 Lolo.
Do you by any chance know Latin?
Quiste rogabit, bene vidi vici, semper ubi sub ubi, morituri status.
I'll take that as a yes. Would you mind translating something for me?
Fire away.
Bruma?
The longest day of the year is solstitium, the summer solstice. The shortest day is Bruma, the winter solstice. Equinoctium vernum is a spring equinox. Equinoctium autumnalis is a fall equinox. Day equals night. Lulu's always right.
Bye, bird.
Ale, bye-bye. Time
I need the
has
key.
come for closing books.
I need the key. The key fits, but it won't turn. I need to put some kind of grease in there first.
Hi, you must be Nancy. I'm so pleased you're here. I'm Jane. I know you've come to visit my stepmom, but I'd love it if you could pop by whenever you get the chance. Oh, we'll have such fun. Let's play a game.
Not right now. Maybe later. I'd like to ask some questions first.
Sure, what do you want to know? About Mummy? I mean, Linda. I do hope you'll help. She's been a bit out of sorts lately.
Do you know why she doesn't want to be seen?
I think maybe it's because of the lady in black. I was playing in Mummy's room when she wasn't there, and when I looked up, there was a lady all dressed in black putting something on Mummy's nightstand.
Did you recognize the woman?
I couldn't see her face because she wore a cape with a hood. The lady put a note on Mummy's nightstand, but I didn't read it. That's when Mummy started feeling poorly. I don't want to think about that. Let's play a game. It will cheer me up.
Not right now, but maybe later.
You can come in any time you want, even if I'm not here. I've got some really smashing things. I'm so happy you've come, Nancy. I hope you can make Mummy feel better. That's my family tree. Ask me anything about anyone. Go on, ask me.
Tell me about Randolph.
Randolph the Red, so named for his bright red hair, was considered a hero at the Battle of Poitiers. For his heroism, King Edward III awarded him with the lands in the region called Penvelin. That's how we got our name.
What can you tell me about Eleanor?
Just that she was burned as a witch, but it wasn't true, and her father, James, died when he saw her die, and then the family fled to France. I don't want to talk about this.
Tell me about Brigitte, the one born in 1759.
She never married and was bonkers for astronomy. She adopted her sister's son, Richard, who later got killed at Waterloo.
Who was Alan?
He was my grandfather, but I didn't know him because he died when I was little. I guess he was nice.
What do you know about Letitia?
Loves plants, hates noise. You can ask her about it. She's usually in the conservatory with her plants. Nigel gave that to me when I was in the library once. I think he was hoping it would scare me, but it didn't. I'm too smart to believe in that sort of stuff. I used that to make cakes for Lulu the parrot. That's why the ingredients are so nasty. Like I would eat mealworms.
Do you mind if I make something?
Go right ahead.
Who's this?
That's my mum, my real mum. She's an opera singer. It's not like she's famous or anything, but she does live in Paris.
What is this book?
Don't know really. Ethel gave it to me. She said it belonged to my grandfather. Do you think Brady Armstrong is cute?
Each of those cups seems to be associated with a Roman numeral.
That was written by Charles Penvelin way back in like the 1500s. When I read it, it seemed really familiar, you know?
Looks like you're learning some interesting stuff.
Bet you wouldn't say that if you were the one who had to learn it.
You had a guinea pig?
Yes, but it died.
When?
I don't know. I'd really rather not think about it, all right? I totally love that show. Isn't Brady Armstrong so dreamy? Total hottie.
Oh, you startled me. You must be Nancy. I'm Jane's tutor, Ethel.
How do you do?
Jane is very excited you're visiting. You're all she's talked about for the past week.
I saw Jane's lesson schedule. That's quite an unusual list of subjects.
Yes, well. I'm sorry, but I'm in a bit of a rush. I need to go over some things with Jane.
Oh, I guess I'll be going then.
It was a pleasure meeting you, Nancy. Our paths will cross again, I'm sure.
There goes my cell phone. Hello?
Hi, Nancy. It's Mrs. Petrov. How is everything? Have you seen Linda yet?
Literally speaking, no, but I did talk to her. Not that she told me anything.
I'm just about at my wit's end. I've never known her to act like this. The last doctor that examined her said that aside from a little dry skin, which is not unusual for her, she was perfectly fine.
Why is she hiding behind that curtain?
I have no idea. When I was out there last week, I got fed up and pulled the curtain back. She threw a fit, but otherwise she looked absolutely normal. A little pale, perhaps, but who wouldn't be pale, cooped up like that? Something has changed her. Something in that house. Hugh is just as bewildered and upset by her behavior as I am. Please get to the bottom of this, Nancy. You're our last hope.
Where is Hugh?
He was called to Rome. As a diplomat, he's always being called out of the country without warning and without any say in the matter. He'd much rather be there with Linda, although...
Although what?
It's just that Hugh said it hasn't been very easy for him to talk to her lately. Whenever he calls, which is at least once a day, Linda always seems to fly off the handle for no reason, which doesn't make sense. Linda has always been extremely level-headed and even-tempered. She never gets angry. At least she didn't used to.
Who exactly is Mrs. Drake?
She's Hugh's aunt. She's taken care of Blackmoor Manor ever since her brother died. He was Hugh's father. She's a bit of a character.
I noticed.
The way she spends all her time in that conservatory, slouching around, trowel in hand, murmuring to herself. You'd think she was burying something. Or somebody.
Goodbye, Mrs. Petroff.
Goodbye, Nancy. Oh, one more thing. My niece is on call and her husband's out of town, and I told her I'd go over there and babysit if she had to work. So if you call and I don't answer, that's why. Bye.
I need something else for this. Doesn't work. This must be some kind of well, but where's the water? Hello? A carnivorous plant. Cool. That's probably not a good idea. That's probably not a good idea.
All settled in? Good. I'm happy that you're visiting Linda, but I know how much you teenagers like your televisions and loud stereos, so I must insist that you act respectfully and civilly while you stay with us. Since my nephew Hugh is away on business, I am in charge of this household, and if there's one thing I cannot stand, it's noise. Hugh's daughter Jane is staying with us and would very much like to meet you, but please try not to distract her. She has her studies and mustn't be disturbed during her lessons.
Is anyone else staying here?
We do not have any permanent house staff, if that's what you mean. The Penvillans have always been self-reliant. We get on quite well without being continuously mollycoddled by a squadron of insipid, gossiping ne'er-do-wells. Now, we do have two other house guests, a Mr. Nigel Mukherjee, who is researching the Penvillan family history in the library, and Ethel Bossany, Jane's tutor.
Do you know what's wrong with Linda?
Oh, Linda simply needs some time to adjust to her new living situation. England is not the United States. We do things differently, or should I say properly, here. The doctor believes it's just a case of nerves.
Her mother told me she refuses to let anyone see her. Is that true?
I don't know, and the doctors don't know. No one seems to know anything. All I've been told is that Linda is unwell and that in her stead, I must look after matters. Now, please, I really do not have time to entertain you. You may have the run of the house, but do not break anything, and refrain from mucking about with items that aren't yours. 2 rules Jane seems incapable of following. And before I forget, our kitchen is being remodeled, so our dining situation is rather unorthodox. I've made arrangements with a local restaurant to deliver meals to us. There should be a programmed number for them on the phone in your room. Feel free to order whatever you'd like.
The picture book in Jane's room. Do you know much about its history?
My brother Alan found it somewhere in the house. He was quite fascinated by it, but he'd never let me look at it.
I'm concerned about that thing I saw outside.
It was purely your imagination, unless you saw a stray dog. But I will not countenance any histrionics about this issue. We have enough to worry about with Linda. And please do not get any ideas about going outside to investigate. I do not want you tracking mud all over this house.
What was your brother Alan like?
He was quite remarkable. He taught linguistics and computer science and won many prestigious awards. He loved games, especially pranks, and was forever tinkering with this and that. I do miss him sometimes, but now he's gone. He died a month after my husband passed away, and ever since I've been here all alone. Until Hugh came back from the United States, that is.
This conservatory is very beautiful, but why isn't there any water in the well?
I'm not quite sure. We never really used it, but it was always full of water. That is until my brother died, and then it just dried up. Most of these plants were brought over by my grandfather. He was quite the adventurer. I remember when he brought back Lulu from the Amazon. At first, Mother wouldn't allow us to play with it because it had picked up too many unsuitable words from sailors, but it gradually learned proper manners.
Can you tell me about Lulu?
Lulu is a very old parrot. She must be over 80 years old. Please be very careful with her, especially if you feed her. Parrots have quite delicate constitutions, you know.
Goodbye.
Run along.
Do you have allergies, Mrs. Drake?
Oh, yes. Hay fever. Although I'm not at all sure what's worse, my allergies or that medication. It makes me feel as if I'm about to float right out of my shoes.
Messing with her plants is probably not a good idea.
Who's hungry? Who's ready for some nummies?
Did you say something, Mrs. Drake?
Not to you, dear.
Looks like John Penbelin may have developed some of the plants that are in here himself.
Boar's Head Pub, this is Tommy.
Hi, this is Nancy Drew. I'm supposed to call you if I want some food.
Right. Nancy Drew, out at the old Blackmoor Manor, are you? Coo, you must be Hank Marvin up there. Pity about your kitchen, but we'll fix you up for some Becks posh. Just tell me what you'd like.
Okay. What do you have?
We've got some loop-de-loop, bangers and mash, a real fine pinky and perky, and a delicious dog's eye, me fork and knife, just rubber-ducked. Hello?
Could you repeat that?
Sure, we've got some loop-de-loop, bangers and mash, pinky and perky, and a dog's eye, and they're all Robin Hood.
I'll have some loop-de-loop.
Okay, one loop-de-loop. Uncle Fred and Johnny Rudder?
Okay.
All right then, we'll come round and leave it at your Rory. Oh, and we've got no hot potato about, so it may take a bit, but we'll have it up to you in no time. Fish and taters. Hugh Penbelin here.
Hello, Mr. Penbelin. This is Nancy Drew. I'm the one who's visiting Linda. You know, from the United States, across the pond.
Yes, of course. Are you at Blackmoor?
Yes, I am, and I've talked to Linda.
Good for you, because frankly, that's something I've been quite unable to do lately. These temper tantrums of hers make rational discourse well nigh impossible.
How long have these tantrums been going on?
Ever since I left for Italy. We'll be talking on the phone about the weather or Jane's lessons or something equally innocuous, and suddenly she'll be bellowing at me and slamming the phone down.
Are you sure you didn't inadvertently say something, argumentative?
I promise you, these rages of hers are totally uncalled for and quite unbearable. I love her dearly, but she's making things very difficult.
I understand that Mrs. Drake is your aunt?
Yes, Aunt Letitia. We're not very close, however. She's always been rather aloof, much more interested in being a Penbelin than a person, if you know what I mean.
Does Linda get along with her?
As far as I know, yes, although I have caught my aunt eyeing Linda strangely at times. And of course there's the 6-month habitation clause.
The what?
According to the Penbelin rules of inheritance, the spouse of Blackmoor Manor's current owner That would be Linda, since I'm the current owner. The spouse of the current owner must reside in the manor for at least 6 months. Should she or he leave the manor before 6 months is up, ownership of one half of the estate immediately passes to the next legal heir.
And that would be Mrs. Drake.
Correct.
I met your daughter Jane.
Quite the bundle of energy, isn't she?
How long have you and her mother been divorced?
Renee and I were divorced almost 2 years ago. Jane went into a bit of a tailspin for a while, but she's come to adore Linda. She's been calling her Mummy since the day we were married.
It was nice talking to you.
This is an extremely busy time for me, so I apologize in advance if you call and I'm unavailable.
I understand.
Good. Cheerio.
Wonder what happened in there.
Ah yes, are you here from the agency? It's about time.
Agency?
Oh dear, you're not the typist from the spiffy specialty agency, are you? Well, how do you do? I'm Nigel Mukherjee.
Pleased to meet you. My name's Nancy Drew. Are you visiting Blackmoor Manor?
I'm researching the Penvillen family, and Mrs. Drake has graciously opened the library for me. Nothing much has been written about the Penvillens. Until now.
Why do you think that is?
It might have something to do with their scandalous history. Or perhaps it has something to do with the family treasure.
Scandalous history?
Well, having a family member burned as a witch can hardly be considered a mark of pride, I dare say. And then there's the whole business with the Blackmoor beast.
Blackmoor beast?
It's a story that's been told for generations out here. During the 1600s, many of the villagers reported seeing a strange beast with red eyes and giant fangs prowling the moors. They asked the mistress of Blackmoor Manor, Eleanor Penvillen, to put a bounty on the beast's head. But, oddly enough, she not only refused, she forbade anyone from hunting the creature. It was rumored that the beast was Eleanor's husband, whom she had cursed for finding out too much about the Penvillen secret.
Penvillen's secret?
For centuries, the Penvillens have been very secretive. Some believe they're protectors of a fabulous treasure, or of some dark secret. There are several skeletons rattling about in the Penvillen closet. Take, for example, Eleanor Penvillen, tried and convicted of witchcraft in 1650, quite the height of the witch trials here in Essex. It was rumored that Cromwell arranged the conviction.
Cromwell?
Oliver Cromwell? Ironsides? I suppose they don't teach history any longer in the US. Lady Penvillen was a rather vocal critic of Cromwell's policies and helped many of his enemies flee the country. Whether she actually was a practitioner of witchcraft is unknown, although many visitors to the manor during her tenure reported hearing strange, ghostly bells. Some even saw phantom hands floating about the manor, tolling their charmed chimes.
Who are all those paintings of in the Great Hall?
Those are the Penvillens who owned Blackmoor Manor at one time or another.
Have you seen any ruins anywhere in the manor?
You mean like Norse runes? No, I haven't. I don't really know much about them anyway. Dead languages aren't really my bag, you know.
I'll let you get back to your work.
Goodbye. Fascinating piece, isn't it? James Penvillen sculpted it in 1591. Although it appears that wand was added at a later date. He was quite a flamboyant figure and never married. But one day, a child appeared quite mysteriously in the castle, and he took her in as his own. That was Eleanor. and many of the townfolk believed her to be a changeling or fairy baby. Achoo!
Viewed Zadorov.
Spasiba. Those are mainly Penelope Penvalin's collections of French novels. She was a patron to a raft of artists, and her salon was quite popular. She was quite the libertine, even kept her maiden name after her marriage. I couldn't quite track the provenance of that piece, but Philippe must have brought it back from the New World. He became quite wealthy as a merchant in the Americas and restored Blackmoor's original splendor after it had been abandoned for years. His daughter Penelope continued the renovation, commissioning the construction of this library by Roger Vizier, who built a similar one for the French general Jean Leboeuf.
Do you mind if I use this computer?
No, not at all, but it's very old. Feel free to use mine if I'm not here.
À tes souhaits.
Merci. I doubt you'll find much of interest in there. They're mainly law books. Charles Penvelin was a prominent judge in the 16th century. Sad to say, he lost his son at a young age, left his estate to his grandson, Thomas. Those manuscripts are very old and brittle. They date back to the 14th century. Odo Penvelin collected most of them. His father, Randolph, and son Milo were rather more interested in military victories than in book collecting.
This is Paliki.
Hi, my name is Nancy Drew. Could I ask you some questions about lycanthropy?
I'm sorry, I'm about to leave for a seminar and I'm very busy. Besides, I've written 2 books and 12 articles on the subject. If you have questions, perhaps you should try reading one of them.
I did. That's how I got your number.
Well, if you didn't understand something, I'm afraid I really don't have time to explain it to you.
I understood everything. It's just that I know someone who seems to be exhibiting some of the symptoms of lycanthropic
Lycanthropic metamorphosis? Well, that's different. Talk to me.
What do you consider to be the definitive signs that someone is turning into some kind of animal?
Symptoms are relatively subtle. A dry mouth, fatigue, impaired vision, and reduced blood flow to the skin. Is this person pale?
Yes, but the really disturbing thing is, she won't let anyone see her. She just lies in bed all day behind this curtain.
And at night, what does she do at night?
I can't be sure, but I do know that I saw something outside the night I arrived. Some kind of animal. And when I asked to see my friend, I was told she was unavailable.
This sounds very promising.
You don't really believe she's turning into some kind of creature, do you?
Young lady, I believe the human mind is capable of far more than we can ever imagine. Pale skin, dry mouth, fatigue. The human mind is perfectly capable of causing the body to exhibit such symptoms, if it is so motivated.
What would motivate someone to turn into an animal?
Most lycanthropes are under a great deal of stress, due perhaps to the death of a loved one, marriage, divorce, a relocation, that sort of thing. They're emotionally vulnerable, which means they're particularly open to the power of suggestion.
Someone suggests they become a lycanthrope?
Not in so many words, of course. Somehow they get it in their head that they're destined to take another form. They see something, they read something, someone says something to them. Somehow they come to believe they're supposed to undergo a physical metamorphosis, and so, in their weakened psychological state, they do.
Are temper tantrums symptomatic of lycanthropy?
There are no hard and fast rules when it comes to lycanthropy, or almost anything else for that matter. But if someone believes that what they're changing into is irrational or has a bad temper, then they will exhibit irrational, ill-tempered behavior, especially if this is contrary to their former nature.
Thanks for your time.
You're welcome.
Hi, Nancy.
Have you ever seen anything strange outside?
Once I saw my Uncle Roger's toupee fly off during a windstorm. Talk about freaky.
I mean, have you seen a strange animal outside?
No, but I have heard weird noises like this. Howling. But not like a dog howling, more like something human. I don't want to think about that. It's scary enough having to live in this gloomy place.
Do you think there's a treasure hidden around here?
I highly doubt it. I mean, if there were, wouldn't someone have already found it? When I asked Ethel about it, she said that it's the Penville name and heritage that should be treasured. Blech.
Do you know what the password is for the computer in the library?
Yes, but I won't tell. Not unless you beat me at Skull and Bones. My friend Hulga bought this for me. It's like Go Fish, but you have to collect 3 of a kind of weird things like zombies and ghosts. You go first.
Do you have any zombies?
Nada. Do you have any skulls?
All yours.
Any haunted houses?
All yours.
Your witches, please?
All yours.
Tombstones?
Afraid not. Do you have any ghosts?
Dig. Do you have any spiders?
Afraid not. Do you have any ghosts?
Nada. Any bats?
Sorry. Do you have any coffins?
Here you go.
Do you have any coffins?
Go dig. Any haunted houses?
Afraid not. Do you have any bats?
Here you go.
Do you have any zombies?
Nada. Any haunted houses?
Get out your shovel. Do you have any spiders?
Here you go.
Do you have any bats?
Sorry. Your witches, please?
All yours. A match? You're doing great.
Any bones?
Get out your shovel. You got a match. Good for you. Do you have any coffins?
Here you go.
That's a match. Do you have any spiders?
Sorry. Any bones?
You're going to have to go dig. Do you have any ghosts?
Go dig.
I got a match.
Do you have any skulls?
All yours. A match? You're doing great.
Tombstones?
Sorry. Do you have any zombies?
Here you go.
That's a match. Do you have any spiders?
Dig. Any bones?
All yours. A match? You're doing great.
Tombstones?
Go dig. You got a match. Good for you. Do you have any ghosts?
Here you go.
I got a match. Do you have any spiders?
You lose. I got more. Do you want to play again?
Okay.
You go first.
Do you have any tombstones?
Sorry. Do you have any coffins?
Go dig. Do you have any zombies?
Dig. Any bats?
All yours. You got a match. Good for you.
Do you have any spiders?
Afraid not. Do you have any bones?
Go dig. Do you have any spiders?
Go dig. Do you have any zombies?
Dig. Your witches, please?
You're going to have to go dig. Do you have any tombstones?
Here you go.
I got a match. Do you have any haunted houses?
Here you go.
Do you have any haunted houses?
Sorry. Do you have any skulls?
All yours.
Do you have any spiders?
You're going to have to go dig. Do you have any coffins?
Here you go.
Do you have any coffins?
Nada.
I got a match.
Do you have any skulls?
You're going to have to go dig. Do you have any haunted houses?
Here you go.
That's a match. Do you have any ghosts?
Dig. Your witches, please?
You're going to have to go dig. A match? You're doing great. Do you have any ghosts?
Dig.
That's a match.
Do you have any spiders?
Go dig. Do you have any coffins?
Nada. Any bones?
All yours. You got a match. Good for you.
Do you have any spiders?
All yours. You got a match. Good for you.
Your witches, please?
Sorry. Do you have any coffins?
Sorry.
I got a match.
Your witches, please?
I win.
You won. Good job. Okay, the password for my grandfather's computer is on his coat of arms, plain as day.
The lady in black you saw in Linda's room, did she look like anyone you know?
Like I said before, I couldn't really see her face, but she was kind of dressed like the lady in the Great Hall.
Which lady?
Eleanor. I know it sounds weird, that's why I didn't want to tell anyone. It's too creepy. Sometimes wonder if I just dreamed it all up. Mrs. Drake is always saying I have a rampant imagination.
I should get going.
Come back soon.
Welcome, my adventurous friend. Don't tell my sister, but there are ghosts in Blackmoor Manor. 13 of them to be exact. The problem is they're very shy, so they only come out when it's very late at night, usually just after midnight, and even then they only show up in quiet places, like the Great Hall, and the hallways and the conservatory. What's worse, they'll only come out for a very short period of time. But if you can find and touch all 13 ghosts in the time you're allotted, come back here and I'll give you a prize, one which I guarantee you'll enjoy. So who's ready to go on a ghost hunt? Oh dear, my watch tells me that the ghosts are not likely to show up right now. Come back between midnight and 4 a.m. Farewell till then.
That must be the food I ordered. Ah, loop-de-loop, otherwise known as soup. This smells delicious. And Uncle Fred and Johnny Rudder are just plain old bread and butter. I can use my Johnny Rudder to grease up that lock outside Jane's room. Check, check, check. I'm finished with that. I'm finished with that. Check. I'm finished with that. Can't check that off till it's done. Can't check that off till it's done. Can't check that off yet. Can't check that off till it's done. I'm sorry to bother you again, but Jane told me about the lady in black.
What lady in black? Jane never said anything to me about a lady in black. That kid is so weird. I just don't get her.
She seems very concerned about you.
Yes, I know. I just don't know how to be a stepmother to her. She's just so strange. Look, just forget about me. You can't help me, and that's that. I'm sorry.
Linda, you have to give me a chance. Everyone is so worried about you. If you just tell me what's happened, maybe I could help. Linda? I made a promise to your mother and I plan to keep it. I'm here for you when you need me. This'll loosen things up in there.
So who's ready to go on a ghost hunt? Remember, you mustn't waste any time. Our little chums won't stay visible for long. So, on your mark, get set, go!
Got one. Three down, 10 to go. Ten down, 3 to go. There, ghost number 13. I'd better stay inside. If I track mud in the house, Mrs. Drake'll kill me.
Congratulations! You're one of the few people who have seen the 13 ghosts of Blackmoor Manor. As a reward, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. But a word to the wise, if you're wearing a hat, hang on to it, have fun!
Maybe I should try feeding it something. Mrs. Drake, is that you? Hello? Mrs. Drake? Are you in there? Mrs. Drake? Ah! Oops.
I didn't arrange for you to visit Blackmoor Manor so you could spend your time scaring the wits out of elderly women.
But I really had no idea Mrs. Drake would react like that. I mean, all I did was knock on her door.
It was the dead of night. What on earth were you expecting? For her to get up and have tea with you?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Petrov. I guess I wasn't thinking.
Well, unfortunately, what's done is done, and there's nothing more to be said. Well, there's one more thing.
I'm fired?
Bingo.
Mrs. Drake, is that you?
Who's the pretty bird in the mirror? And the winner
I need the
is
key.
you. Polly is a stupid bird. Polly is a stupid. Say goodnight, Gracie.
What's that supposed to mean?
Everyone's sleeping. Go to your room and set your clock.
What time do most people get up around here?
6 a.m. 6 a.m. Set your clock for 6 a.m. Ah, sweet dreams.
Armavirum quaecano, proieci primus ab oris Italiam.
What is that?
Lavigne quae venit litora, multum ille et terris jactatus et alto diceperum saepe.
Oh, maybe I'd better have a look around. What's that?
With her eyes so bright, looks toward heaven at midnight. On the longest night of year, that's the one she holds most dear. Story friends she's often heard to say, how I wish that I could make you stay. She knows though they can't remain, time will bring them round again.
I don't want to disturb them. Check. Can't check that off yet. I haven't done that yet. Can't check that off till it's done. That's done. Check. Hi, Linda.
Nancy? I can't believe you're still here. I thought for sure that... Maybe you can help me.
What did the lady in black leave for you on your nightstand?
All I know is I've awakened something in this house. Something that refuses to rest.
What did you do?
One day after Hugh left for Rome, I inadvertently discovered a secret passageway. I started to explore it. And pretty soon I found this really old-looking message etched into the wall. When I read it, I realized it was some kind of ancient curse. I tried to laugh it off, but it was kind of unnerving. So I went back to my room and found a note on my nightstand. And on it was written the exact same curse. That very night, I started to feel strange. The curse has been coming true ever since.
Where is the secret passageway?
I can't tell you that. I've already caused my own doom. I won't do the same to you.
Can you tell me what this curse said?
I burned it as soon as I read it. I don't know why I bothered telling you this. You can't do anything for me. I should have listened, but I didn't, and now what's done is done.
How well do you get along with Jane?
I've been giving it the old college try, believe me. But she can just be so strange sometimes.
How so?
She'll just do the oddest things. Like one night just after Hugh left, she came into my room and insisted I read a book to her.
That doesn't sound very odd to me.
The book was on monsters, vampires and werewolves and witches. I mean, what kind of little girl reads books like that? She fits right into this house, that's for sure.
I'll see you soon.
Please.
Sheet with her eyes so bright, looks toward heaven at midnight. On the longest night of year, that's the one she holds most dear. Story friends she's often heard to say, how I wish that I could make you stay. She knows though they can't remain, time will bring them round again.
Wonder what goes there. Something fits in here, but what?
Brigitte with her eyes so bright, looks toward heaven at midnight.
Hi, Nancy.
Do you know of any secret passageways in the manor?
I found one, but all it did was lead to this funny picture.
Do you think you could show me where the passageway is?
Wouldn't you rather play a game with me? I'm so bored.
I'll play a game with you after you show me the passageway.
No, we'll play a game, and if you win, I'll tell you where it is. I got this at this really neat museum in the States. It's supposed to be an original Maya game, but don't worry. You don't have to, kill people or take their hearts out or anything. It's really easy to play. You roll the corn and move your warrior the number of dots on the corn. If no dots, then you get to move 5 spaces. You get 2 turns, but you can pass on your second turn. You just keep on going down this track, and you can capture my person if you land on him. Whoever gets all the warriors wins. I'll be blue. Here we go.
You can go.
You can go.
I pass.
Pass.
You can go.
Pass.
You can go.
Your turn. Rats.
I pass.
Your turn.
You can go.
You can go.
You can go.
Pass.
I pass.
You can go.
Your turn.
Pass.
I pass.
Ha!
Your turn.
Pass.
All right. Your turn.
Pass.
Your turn.
Ha!
I pass.
You can go.
Your turn.
You can go.
You can go.
Your turn.
You can go.
Pass.
I pass.
Pass.
I pass.
Pass.
You can go.
You can go.
You can go.
Pass.
Your turn. Oopsie. Your turn.
Pass.
All right. I pass.
Your turn.
Your turn.
You can go.
I pass.
You can go.
I pass.
Your turn.
Your turn.
You can go.
I pass.
Pass.
You can go.
Your turn.
I pass.
You can go.
All right. I win.
Okay, I found the secret passageway in the East Hall. That's the hall with the coat of arms on the door. But it's not a very exciting secret passageway. You're going to be totally bored. Wouldn't you rather play a game with me instead?
The East Hall is locked. Do you know how I can get in it?
My great-aunt took the key. She probably thought I'd break something in there. But I found another one. Here, you can keep it if you want.
Have you ever heard anything strange at night that sounds like chanting?
No.
I should get going.
Ta-ta!
Polly is a stupid bird. Polly is a stupid bird. The time has come for...
The hands move. Whee!
Hi, Nancy.
How do I get into the secret passageway in the East Hall?
I don't know why you have to go there. But if you must know, the way I got in was by moving the hands on that statue with all the arms. I was just playing around with them when this secret door just suddenly appeared.
I should get going.
Ta-ta!
Can't check that off till it's done. I'm finished with that. That's done. That's done. I haven't done that yet. Can't check that off yet.
The time has come for closing books. Felicity! The door! The door!
Hello, Nancy.
I'll let you get back to your work.
Valet!
You're gonna need a bigger bowl.
If I want to look around in there, I'm going to need a flashlight.
So, did you find what you were looking for in that secret passageway?
Let's just say you live in a very interesting house.
I don't want to hear. It's so scary to think people can be looking about behind these walls. But you shouldn't tell anyone about them either. If you do, they'll probably close them off and say they're too dangerous.
Do you have a flashlight?
A flashlight? Oh, Nancy, flashlight is an American term. In the UK, we call it a torch. I don't have one, but I do have a whole bunch of glow sticks. If you want one, you have to play a game with me. That's the rule. This is a game I bought in Arizona. You have to make as many matches as possible. On your mark, get set, go! Hooray! You've won! Here's your glow stick. If this one goes out, I'll let you play for another one.
I should get going.
Come back soon.
And the winner is Lulu.
That doesn't look like a curse. Barber, and a picture of a parrot. I wonder if Lulu has something to do with this.
gonna need a bigger boat. You're gonna need a bigger boat. Hello?
Does the word barber mean anything to you?
What's the magic word?
Please?
Sorry, that is incorrect. Lulu, what magic word? Magic word, magic word, magic word. A deal's a deal.
The word annoying comes to mind.
Sorry, that is incorrect. Magic word, magic word, magic word. A deal's a deal.
Okay. I guess I'll go try to figure out what the magic word is.
Cheerio.
How is my little purple tiger today? Yes?
Do you know anything about Lulu's magic word?
Magic word? Oh, yes. You see, my brother and grandfather would play a word game with Lulu. I never understood how it was played, but they'd play for hours. Lulu would sometimes grow sullen and refuse to play the game anymore unless they told her that... Oh, what was it that they'd have to tell her? It's perched on the tip of my tongue. Ah, they had to tell Lulu that she was a very, very clever and beautiful bird.
I spoke with Mr. Tucker at the Boar's Head pub, but frankly, I'm not at all sure what he said.
Yes, his language is quite colourful, isn't it? He's Cockney, you see. My brother Alan and I loved to make up Cockney rhymes when we were young. We'd drive our governess quite batty. Haven't got a pot of glue, haven't got a pot of glue. Ha! How we teased her.
Pot of glue?
A clue, dear. Haven't got a clue. Rhymes with glue, you see.
Would you have a torch that I could borrow?
No, I'm afraid not. Jane ruined all of ours with some sort of experiment she cooked up. But I believe she may have some of those glow sticks for illumination.
Goodbye.
Run along.
Top of the morning to you, matey.
I know the magic word.
Magic word, magic word. What's the magic word?
Lulu is a very, very clever and beautiful bird.
Clever and beautiful. How true, clever and beautiful.
Easy, Lulu. You're hurting my ears.
So, what's your word?
Barber.
Please.
Bye, bird.
Bye, bird. Pay no attention to the bird behind the curtain.
It looks like the rest of this grid is on the other side of the wall.
You
gave
gave me
me
such a fright. What were you doing in there?
I found a secret passage off of the East Hall.
So I suspected. These old homes usually have a secret passageway or two. But I must insist that you no longer play in these areas. They can be extremely dangerous.
But I'm curious about where they lead.
Well, we wouldn't want you to end up like the proverbial cat, would we, Nancy? Please heed my warning. It would be terrible if something happened to you.
What you're teaching Jane looks pretty rigorous, but interesting.
I believe young people need to have a well-rounded education and learn what every other Penvillin should know.
Have you seen the book in Jane's room called the Mutus Liber?
Yes, the silent book. It's quite fascinating and very old. Jane's grandfather left it with me to give to her.
It almost seems as if it's telling some kind of story.
Yes, but a long-lost story whose meaning will probably never be understood.
Have you ever heard the legend about the Beast of Blackmoor?
Of course. Everyone who grows up in these parts knows it. But it's just a myth, one that unfortunately proved to be quite damaging to the Penvillins.
Damaging to the Penvillins?
Well, yes. Eleanor Penvillin was executed because the villagers believed that she had created the beast. Things cannot get much more damaging than that.
Do you know much about the Penvillin family history?
Only that they were a very well-respected and talented family. Many of my ancestors were tutors of some of the Penvillins, and I feel very honored to continue that tradition.
Well, I won't keep you any longer.
Goodbye, Nancy.
And the winner is Lulu. Pay no attention to the bird behind the curtain.
Linda, I found the secret passageway. Jane told me where it is, but I didn't see any curse in there.
How could you have missed it? It was right there, just waiting to be found, wanting to be found. I can't believe how foolish I was. That stupid gargoyle. I hated how its evil eyes would stare at me whenever I walked to my room. So I moved it around, changed its position, kept fiddling with it. But when that secret door suddenly opened, I couldn't resist going in there.
Which gargoyle is this?
What do you mean, which gargoyle? I thought you said you found the secret passageway.
So there's more than one. Linda, I think someone's trying to scare you off. I think they thought you were getting too close to something that's hidden in this house.
You're right. I did get too close to something. That witch that was burned at the stake. She's cursed me, and she's probably cursed you too.
I'll see you soon.
Goodbye.
I'll bet that's the gargoyle Linda was talking about. Something tells me I better not mess with this until I know what I'm doing.
Hello, Nancy.
Who is the man in the Great Hall with the gargoyle?
That's Corbin Penvillin, born in 1670 and died in 1741, I believe. He was Eleanor's grandson and spent his life in France. It was rumored that he secretly returned to Blackmoor to continue his grandmother's experiments in the mystical arts.
Where can I find his coat of arms?
I didn't realize you were so interested in Penvillin history. I'd be happy to show you his coat of arms, but I'm in dire need of a typist. Perhaps, if you can help me out, I can find that which you seek.
It's a deal. What do you want me to do?
Perhaps first we should see how fast you type. This program will rate your speed. Just type the characters that appear on the screen. If you're good enough, I'll let you type up my memoirs, and then I'll let you see the coat of arms. excellent score. Now, here's what I'd like you to type up. These are my memoirs. I think you'll find them quite interesting.
These are the most boring memoirs I've ever read in my life. Phew, done. Finally. I feel like I've been typing forever. Nigel! Nigel!
No key without toil, no fire without oil. No key without toil, no fire without oil. No key without toil, no fire without oil. No key without
What
toil,
are they
no
doing?
fire without oil.
Oh yeah, my actions ensure that my name will endure to the end.
That was a little creepy.
I did it perfect that time, didn't I? Well, almost perfect.
You did very well. But remember, this must remain a secret. Do not discuss it with anyone.
Yes, Ethel.
And don't forget, you have a maths exam tomorrow.
Yes, Ethel.
And be sure to brush your teeth.
Yes, Ethel. Good night.
Smells like oil. I can see into Linda's room. Only the blameless shall pass here. All others shall transform into beasts. Tooth and nail shall grow long, and hair shall turn coarse, till their aspect be as loathsome as their cold hearts. Prove thy worthiness, and memorialize here the innocent one so wrongly condemned for saving lives. Else consider thyself right and truly cursed. I can see into the library. She's probably sleeping.
And the winner is Lulu.
Wow, looks like I won't be needing any more of Jane's glow sticks. Oh my gosh, the room is moving! The floor's buckling! Oh my gosh, the room is moving! Weird symbols. Maybe knowing what that snake symbol means will help me figure out what the others mean. This reminds me of that picture I saw in the Mutus Liber. I'm supposed to press the button under the blue triangles I want to move, then press the one under the group I want to move them to, until I wind up with a group of just 4 triangles. I'm at the bottom of the well. If I open the door now, I'll flood the place.
Please, just take it away.
But how can you expect to feel better if you don't eat properly?
And from now on, just bring me what I ask for.
A healthy digestive system cannot do without roughage, you know.
Yes, Mrs. Drake.
Interesting. Looks like some sort of charm. Linda? Tell me again how you opened up that secret passageway.
Not on your life. I've already said too much.
Does Jane have a pet guinea pig?
Not that I know of. She may have had one at one time, but not since we've moved here from the States.
Is there anything I can get for you?
A well full of nice cold water sounds good. My mouth is so dry and I always seem to be thirsty. And I get so hungry. You should go.
Why?
I said go! Now! Get out! Do you hear me? Get out!
Hi, Linda. Linda? I'll be going now. Someone deliberately set this up so they could use this squirt gun to hit those tiles over there.
Have you seen? The well is filled up again. It's very curious, but quite wonderful.
I think Ethel is trying to recruit Jane into some kind of secret society.
Oh, for heaven's sake, child. Where did you ever get such nonsense?
I saw Ethel and Jane performing this ritual in the Great Hall in the middle of the night.
Poppycock! A ritual in the middle of the night? Young lady, I will not abide such wild stories. Imagine Ethel Bossany recruiting my grandniece into some kind of secret society. Next thing you'll be saying Linda has been cursed by some roving spirit, or that we have ghosts prowling about.
Why did you put that charm above Linda's door?
What? I fail to see why that is any of your concern. But if you must know, I was only trying to help Linda. Oh, I am at a loss as to what to do about her. A complete loss. Sometimes extraordinary situations require extraordinary measures. I thought that perhaps a charm would help. Whatever it is that's plaguing that poor thing.
Goodbye.
Good day.
sheet with her eyes.
I haven't done that yet. Can't check that off till it's done. That's done. That's done. That's done. I'm finished with that. That's done. That's done. Can't check that off till it's done. Check. That's done. Can't check that off yet. Can't check that off yet. Check. Can't check that off yet. I haven't done that yet. Maybe I should take another look at Brigitte's coat of arms. Wonder what this is. This lens is supposed to go into a telescope that sits on a tripod. What was that? What's that?
Hello again.
He was Randolph's grandson and the first initiate. Odo did not have the proper qualities for Randolph's instruction.
Because he was stupid.
No, Jane. It's because Randolph believed that the proper qualities skip every generation. We talked about that, remember?
I guess.
Milo was a great soldier, just like his grandfather. And with his grandfather's help, he was victorious at Caen.
That was a battle fought in 1417, during the 100 Years' War.
That's right.
But I don't understand something. The 100 Years' War lasted longer than 100 years, right? So why do they call it that? Why don't they call it the 116-year war, huh?
Oh my, look at the time. We need to go over your geometry. Please open your book to page 46 and read silently.
Nancy, I'm so afraid. Someone just sent me this horrid message. Look at this.
This house is now mine, so of this be warned. Thou hast angered me and shall soon be gone.
Now look on the other side. That symbol is a rune. Right side up, it means protection like a shield. But there, it's upside down. It means I'm in danger.
I wouldn't take this seriously, Jane. Someone in this house is up to no good, and I'm determined to find out who it is.
Are you really? I mean, none of these weird things started happening until you came to Blackmoor. How do I know it's not you who's behind all this?
I think you can trust me.
I think not. I don't think I can trust anyone right now. I wish I'd never come back to this place. It's old and cold, and I hate it. And I just don't want to be here.
I know you're upset, but please, you have to trust me. I'm on your side. Jane, I saw you and Ethel performing some kind of ritual. What were you doing?
Huh? I don't know what you're talking about.
You and Ethel were pouring oil or something down some kind of drain.
Coo, you're a daft one. Imagine me and Ethel running around in the middle of the night pouring oil down drains.
I didn't say anything about it taking place in the middle of the night.
Well, isn't that when weird rituals usually take place? In the dead of night? Anyway, you were probably just having a bad dream. Believe me, this castle can sometimes give you nightmares.
Do you happen to know what the symbol of a snake eating its own tail means?
Never heard of that.
Jane, did there used to be a telescope in my room?
Mm-hmm. I took it outside to look at the stars. But if you want it back, you'll have to play a game with me.
I knew you were going to say that. Okay, what's the game?
Let's see how quick your reflexes are. I'll time you. If you get the puzzle done in time, I'll return the telescope. If not, then you'll have to try again. On your mark, get set, go! Five minutes. Four minutes. Three minutes.
There!
You won. Good show. I'll put the telescope back in your room first chance I get.
I should get going.
Bye.
Yes?
What do you think of Ethel Bosny?
I think she's an odd lot, that one. She has no formal background in pedagogy or scholarship. I would be a much better influence on Jane were I her tutor, but Mrs. Drake insists on employing Ethel.
Do you know what the symbol of a snake eating its tail signifies?
The Ouroboros? It's a very old image and is usually associated with alchemy. You really do come up with the strangest questions, Nancy.
I'll let you get back to your work.
Tally-ho!
This looks like some kind of medieval forge. Looks like a chunk of metal. This looks like some kind of ancient mold. My dear initiate, Penelope Penvellyn. Wow, this letter was written more than 200 years ago. A keyhole. Whoa. Sounds like the big guy out there just took a step. Looks like some winds are stronger than others. It sounds like air is going to the forge. You're one big drink of water, aren't you?
moving.
I just made that statue of Mercury move.
No!
Hello?
Hi, it's Ned.
Hey, Ned, what's up?
I could say I've been studying and needed a break, but the truth is I've been dying to hear from you. What's going on there?
What isn't going on here?
I'm listening.
Well, for one thing, I've discovered some kind of medieval alchemy lab.
Really? Where?
Under the manor, and I mean way under the manor. In fact, I may be the only one in this place who knows about it.
What's in it?
Well, I was hoping to find the fabled Penvillin treasure, but all there is in there is an old forge.
Forge? Isn't the thing you use to heat metal and make swords and stuff?
Right.
So what are you going to do now?
Well, actually, the forge looks like something I saw in this strange book Jane has in her room, which means I should probably check it out more thoroughly.
Probably hasn't been used for centuries.
That's the thing. It looks like it has been used recently. I mean, relatively recently. Certainly within the past 50 years or so.
What would someone be using a forge to make in this day and age?
There was also this big keyhole in the lab.
What about a key?
No key.
Well, there you go. Maybe that's what has to be forged.
The key that goes in that keyhole?
That'd be my guess.
Linda's stepdaughter, Jane, she has this really weird picture book in her room.
What do you mean, a picture book?
I mean, pictures are all that's in this book. No words, just these strange hand-drawn images. And the book is old, like it's been around for centuries.
Drawings, huh? Maybe it's some kind of an ancient instruction manual. You know, for people who didn't know how to read.
Could be. When I asked her about it, Jane said her grandfather gave it to her. And then...
And then what?
And then she changed the subject.
Sounds like that book may prove to be pretty important.
I think Linda may be turning into the Beast of Blackmoor.
The Beast of Blackmoor?
In the 17th century, Eleanor Penvillin was rumored to have turned her husband into some kind of creature for discovering something that he shouldn't have. She was later executed for witchcraft. Anyway, while I was looking into her room through this peephole,
You were spying on her through a peephole?
No, well, sort of. Okay, so maybe I was. But the point is, I got a glimpse of her hand, and it was all hairy.
You're kidding me.
Frankly, it was pretty shocking. And if the rest of her is anything like her hand, well, it's no wonder she won't let anyone see her.
I'm sure there's a perfectly logical explanation. I have no idea what it could be, but I'm sure there is one.
I'll talk to you soon.
I'm already looking forward to it.
Can't check that off yet. Check. I'm finished. That's done. Check. Check. I'm finished with that. Check. I'm finished with that. Can't check that off yet. Can't check that off yet. I'm finished with that. That's done. Check.
Oh, Susanna, don't you cry for me. I've come from Alabama with a banjo on my knee. Dee-dee-dee-dee. Hello.
Who is that? I wonder if these are what made those red eyes I saw outside the night I arrived. Scratch marks, like something was trying to get into my room.
How about we just shake this stuff off and go to the mall?
Cool. There are symbols in that mural that I couldn't see before.
Sorry, chum. The Boar's Head pub is closed. Ring us back after 8 come day's dawning. Head, this is Tommy.
Hi, this is Nancy Drew. I'd like to order some food.
Sure, we've got some loop-de-loop bangers and mash, pinky and perky and a dog's eye, and they're all Robin Hood.
I'd like some Pinky and Perky, please.
Good choice. Uncle Fred and Johnny Rudder?
You bet.
All right then, we'll come round and leave it at your Rory. Baked potato.
Filius, filii, filio, filium, filio.
It stopped working. I need something to wind it up.
Pax, sax, serax, hola.
That must be the food I ordered. Looks like Pinky and Perky is turkey. I knew that. This smells delicious.
Very good. And now the plow.
Yes?
Do you believe that Blackmoor Manor is haunted?
No, of course not. I've lived here for many, many years, and I can tell you without a doubt that absolutely no ghosts walk these halls. An occasional odd creak here and there, yes, but no ghosts. But I do sometimes wonder if those who have passed away remain with us, lingering on. I miss my brother terribly, and I sometimes wonder if he is in some way still here.
I'd like to play the card machine in the Great Hall, but it's broken.
It's not broken. I removed its crank, as it was proving to be too much of a distraction for Jane. I suppose I could see where it's gone to. But in the meantime, be a dear and do something for me, would you?
Sure.
Do you see that hodgepodge of plants over there? They're my prize seedlings. I had them perfectly arranged in that box, so I could easily move them about to catch the light. Unfortunately, Jane took all of them out when I wasn't looking, and now for the life of me I cannot get them back in the box, so that they all fit. Why don't you give it a try while I see about that crank? If we both succeed, we shall both be happy, if you catch my meaning. Remember, they must all fit in that box!
There.
Ah, there you are. I'm sorry to inform you that I shall soon be leaving Blackmoor. I just have a few things to take care of, and then I shall bid you adieu.
Why? Where are you going?
I have good reason to believe this place is genuinely haunted. There's no way I'm staying here 1 minute longer than I have to. Thankfully, I've finished most of my research and have enough to start my book.
I'll let you get back to your work.
Tally-ho!
Yes?
I managed to get all those seedlings back in the box.
Wonderful. And I managed to find that crank. There you go.
Great, thank you. Goodbye.
Good day. Are you the pretty spider plant?
Those symbols look familiar. Maybe she'll give that to me if I win. again! All right, Betty, pay up. I'm finished with that. That's done. I could try to hit the bullseye I saw when I went down that slide with a cricket ball.
Felicity! The door! The door!
I guess I should explain.
I see you did not heed my warning. I realize you're a very curious young woman, but know this. These passageways can only lead to misfortune for the uninitiated, and I am not only speaking of physical peril.
Would being initiated have anything to do with secret rituals in the middle of the night?
Nancy, I know you're a good person and mean well, and I understand you feel compelled to discover what is happening to Linda. But I also have certain duties which may conflict with yours. I will not interfere as long as I am prohibited from doing so, but know that the instant I receive the word, you will no longer be welcomed in Blackmoor. Good day.
Hi, Linda. I'll be going now. Yuck. Did you order this meat?
I told you, I get hungry. Now go away!
Hi.
Have you ever seen these before?
No, what are they?
I was hoping you could tell me. I found them in the hallway.
I've never seen those before in my life.
I should get going.
Bye.
Sounds like I did something right. This wand probably works through magnets. Whoa, something tells me I just succeeded in lighting the forge. What was that? Where'd this come from? Doom shall come on swift wings to thee who hath seen forbidden things. This looks like it came from a wolf. By pulling out different plugs, I can create different patterns in the mold.
And the winner is Lulu.
The forge is lit. Wow, molten metal. There, that looks right.
Whatever you just found, it's mine. I'm the Pendulum, not you. Besides, I would have found it before you did if I didn't have to sit there all day learning all that other silly rubbish. What is that?
That is the Pendulum treasure.
A rock? 600 years of secrets and mystery and puzzles, all because of a stupid rock? No way. There must be something under it.
No, don't touch it!
Nancy, help me! It's pitch black in here. I can't see anything. Get me out of here, please! I'm sorry I was mean to you before. I'm sorry for everything.
What do you mean by everything?
It's my fault Linda's sick. I mean, she's not really sick. I just made her think she is. I left that curse in her room and gave her allergy pills and put her medicine in a moisturizer.
You made her think that she's changing into the Beast of Blackmoor, didn't you?
I just wanted to go away. I just wanted to be Daddy and me and Mommy, my real Mommy. Please don't make me talk anymore, Nancy. There's no air in here. I can't breathe.
I've got to figure out a way to get that box off of her fast.
Thank you.
Dear Ned, well, there is a Beast of Blackmoor. Jane. She made poor Linda think she was turning into a monster by putting her uncle's hair restorer in Linda's moisturizer. She also slipped Mrs. Drake's allergy pills into Linda's food so she'd feel woozy all the time. An extremely dangerous thing to do. Needless to say, Jane's father was very upset, especially when he found out Jane had done it because she still wants him and her real mother to get back together. After Jane apologized to Linda and Hugh apologized to both of them, they all resolved to do whatever it takes to become a real family. As for Blackmoor Manor, ever since I told him about all the passageways and gadgetry I discovered, Hugh has become fascinated with his family history and has asked, No, ordered Ethel to teach him what she's taught Jane. And while he doesn't believe for a second that the meteorite in that old alchemy lab has magical powers, he has encouraged Jane to come up with a puzzle to help ensure its safekeeping, just as initiates have been doing for centuries. Which reminds me, the Pendlins swore me to secrecy when it comes to all their traditions. So don't tell anybody any of this, okay? Nigel suspected something was up when he came to get his laptop and has been hounding me ever since. This is just the kind of stuff he'd love to include in that unauthorized tell-all he's trying to write. If he calls me one more time, I'm telling on him. To Mrs. Drake. That'll teach him. Ever yours, Nancy.
The year is 1930, and everything is on the rise. Unemployment, government breadlines, and organized crime. In the midst of it all, a heroine is born. Armed with only a flashlight, a blue roadster, and a spirited resourcefulness, a 16-year-old detective will go on to inspire hope in the hearts of young girls and kisses upon the lips of evildoers everywhere. Her name? Nancy Drew.